Hello and a very good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to Crafters TV. It's Saturday. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh yeah! And welcome to Play Your Crafts Right. I think safe to say this is probably one of my favourite shows of the week because not only do we get to do all of the crafty stuff, not only do we get to bring you loads of great deals, but we also get to play some games on a Saturday. And it's not just us playing the games as well. Of course, you can play along at home. If you're watching on Facebook right now, I've got great news for you. You're in my team, and I'm on a 2-week winning streak. Yes! You're on the winning team. I'll probably lose today, having said that. And if you are watching on YouTube, well, you have got one of my absolute faves, the lady who I beat last week in the game. The fighting talk started. It's the lovely Jan Brown.
It is. It's going down. It's going down. Yeah, YouTube this morning, definitely. I need to make a comeback this week.
Yeah, it's going to be. You got your little team YouTube up there. Get it off my screen. We've got a game coming up for you later on. It's going to be a crafty conundrum where you're going to have to work out the anagrams with us. Basically, you play along. Whoever wins out of me or Jan, the winning team will have 5 people picked at random to win a voucher to spend with us here at Crafters Companion, which is amazing. So make sure you're watching, make sure you're getting in touch and getting social with us. But Jan, it's going to be a brilliant day. We've got a lovely day lined up, haven't we?
It is. We've just been talking about it. I said I quite like Saturdays, I must admit. I know it's a weekend day for us, but I quite like the lineup on a Saturday, and the fact that we've got another craft along thrown in there as well. One of my favourite shows to do. So I really enjoy the teaching side of it. And I've got an unusual one for you this afternoon on there, yes.
Am I going to be...
You are going to be crafting along. I've got your pack ready in my bag, Ben. Yes. Get you all set up over there. We just need to get you a dustbin today because poor Jake had to get the Hoover out yesterday. He'd made that much mess over there on the floor that we had to get the Hoover. Poor Jake's out with the Hoover after the show cleaning up. So yes, we need to get you a dustbin today so that you can just literally pop it all off into the bin nice and neat.
Yeah, I didn't realise that's what you're supposed to do. I just thought you went... and just chucked it all on the floor. But never mind, that will be fun later on.
It will.
And we're in the craft house, of course, this evening too. But let's give you a bit of a look as to what is going to be coming up over the course of the day today. And those layering delicate panel dies are what we're going to be looking at on our craft along a little bit later on. 4 die set. You're going to get 16 sheets of Nina card with these as well, but you've got 4 absolutely beautiful designs in this collection. So you've got your elegant butterflies, you've got your entwining vines, peacock feathers, and your perfect peonies. And whether you decide that you're going to get these to use as like a starter, as a background, or whether you're going to use these as like your main focal point for a card, or indeed if you decide to kind of cut these a few times and snip into them and use elements from the different collections. Again, these are super versatile dies at a great price today. You're saving £13 or $16, and if you're platinum, again, that comes down another 20%, so that's £35 and 8p or $43.60. And Jan's got some wonderful samples to show us over there.
They are. This one's really sort of quite luxurious, isn't it?
Wow.
It's using those papers from that gorgeous masquerade pad and then teamed up with the gold glitter card.
That's stunning.
It's got a definite such a touch of decadence there, hasn't it? And this one just folds flat. So you've got that sort of reversed easel card there. And this is the main die that we're going to be using in the craft along this afternoon. We're going to mix a couple of them together, but I just fell in love with the peacock feathers. So we're going to be doing something a little bit different with that one this afternoon. Then you've got those perfect peonies. Again, I'm going to demo with this one shortly. Wow. And we're going to do a little bit of paper piecing this morning. So show you, it looks absolutely stunning with all the pieces of the flowers inlaid back into the die. Then we've got the entwining vines. Again, just gorgeous on its own. I just think that is a really nice design, and I think it would be a great fun. I mean, we've chosen sending hugs on there. I think it'd be a great sort of with sympathy card to just have something like that behind it. Just done in sort of a neutral colour tone. And then we've got those beautiful butterflies. They make an appearance in nearly every collection we do. But again, and this one is slightly different in that the butterfly wings actually flick out of the design there. So once you've got it set,
okay, yeah,
because obviously they get a little bit flattened in the box, But the others all cut flat, but this one, as I say, all the little butterflies, right down to the little tiny ones, all just lift those wings out. So if I just lay it down a little bit, you can see how those are all popped out.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, really nice. And again, you can snip into it. You can see the embellishments here have just been some of the little ones snipped out. So yeah, that's that sort of set of delicate panel dies coming up, yeah, for Craft Along this afternoon.
Question from Rebecca, who says, do we get a sneaky peek of the Craft Along later on?
I did promise it, didn't I?
You did?
I did promise it. I will get it ready to show you.
Ooh,
I will get it ready.
Here we go. Well done, Rebecca.
It's in
Love
my
that.
bag. When you come back, I will,
All right.
let's see what we can find.
A few hellos as well. Jeffrey saying, morning all from a sunny but cool morning. Lynn says, hi Ben. Hi Lynn. Jan, the TV team, the social superstar, which is Kiwi today, and everyone. Christine is in. Stephen's in. Susanna says, hi all. Looking forward to today's shows. Already made a couple of cards and love to craft whilst I watch. Mariana says, hello everyone. Hello. Linny says, hello Ben, Jan, CTV crew, and my crafty friends from a beautiful Edinburgh. It's like a warm, sunny spring morning up here today. Oh, lovely. Warm, Scotland. Lena says, hi from Dem. Hey?
We're missing out.
I know we are. Woolly jumpers and everything here. Lena's in from Denmark and says, good morning, Jan and Ben from North Norfolk. Jackie's in as well. And also, must say good morning to Thea, who says, I can't pronounce this, but it's I can't say it. Hallootjes. HALLOOOTJES from the Netherlands. Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Hi.
Yeah. It's not one of the languages.
Let us know how to pronounce it. Yeah.
So you let me know. French and German I can just about do, but Dutch not one of my strong points. Let us have a look though at what is going to be coming up for you later on in the Craft House. Delighted to bring you Creative Expressions goodies. We brought some goodies from Creative Expressions to you recently, and you guys have absolutely loved what these guys have to bring to you. And I think, do you know what? If you love your florals, if you have loved recently where we've been looking at the edibles that we bring to you, you're going to absolutely fall in love with this brand new collection. This is your Floral Corner and Edge Dies collection. These are nice big dies is what I would say about. If you like doing kind of like big cards with big statement pieces, you'll love all of the florals that you're going to get here. And whilst within this collection you're going to get 6 of your edibles, you're also going to get 2 of your corners included in here as well. The flowers that you've got in this collection, you've got your iris and your wisteria. You've then got your forget-me-not and rose corners, and then you've got a whole host of other beautiful flowers here as well, from your crocus through to your climbing clematis. You've got your jasmine in there, and you've got a beautiful daisy bouquet as well. Again, wonderfully versatile collection. Again, one of those collections where you've got so much detail, and very simply, you'll be creating stunning cards with very little effort. And it's a really great price today as well. Brand new goodies, £100, $145, not with us, £80 or $115, less your 20% if you're platinum, comes down to £64 or $92. Nice big size dies these, Jan, aren't they? And again, as I said, if you love dies which have got lots of detail, if you love your florals and your edibles, this is for you, this set, isn't it?
They are, yeah. They're part of that paper cuts range again. And the idea is they're meant to look like those laser paper cuts, but obviously it's all done with a metal die. And they're very similar to our edgeable technology as far as the main ones are concerned. So they cut into the card, and then you can decide how you want to sort of follow that through. So this is that forget-me-not corner that we've done on opposite corners there, and I just think it lends itself to that shape. It looks lovely, doesn't it? So that one, and then we've got one of the edgeables there. This is the jasmine edgeable. So again, you can see it cuts sort of outside away, which we're used to with our edgeables, and then it cuts the inside into the card panel, and again you get some stunning results. So this has just been done with the misters that we've brought to you previously, the airless misters on the show there, just to create that background, and then just fading over into to the white on that side there. Again, you've got that lovely daisy one there. I must admit, this is one of my favourites. I'm going to demo this one this morning.
That's
I love
stunning.
daisies and gerberas, one of my favourite flowers.
The colours
yeah,
are
inking
amazing.
backgrounds on that one. And then the white over the top is really striking, isn't it? Absolutely. So just to give you that little bit of sparkle around the edge of it there. And then again, you know, look how different they look when you bring in the black card. Absolutely gorgeous. It is the jasmine one again, but I just love this sample. Again, you know, you've got the embossed pieces inside there, and then you've got that beautiful, just the black there with a little hint of sparkle on it. And I think they're striking. And then again, why not cut into those dies? You know, like Ben says, it doesn't have to be the whole set. This is one of those edgeables that's literally just been popped inside a little circular frame so that you've just got a snippet of that detail in there. But I just love how fine cut they are. And as I say, that's where they get the name of the Paper Cuts collection. You can actually buy things like this already done, already laser cut, and you just pop them out. But this is actually giving you that scope to do what you want with them rather than just be a set piece that you pop out of a sheet of cardstock. Yeah, beautiful.
£64 today if you're platinum, or $92 for that collection. Lots of you again already commenting about how beautiful these brand new collections are, and of course we'll have a look at those in full detail. They're coming up for you later on in the Craft House, 2 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock here in the UK. And also coming up for you later on, and I've got a smile on my face here because these are super cute. You know I'm your fuzzy friend, right, with me moustache, right? We've got some more fuzzy friends to introduce you to with the... Sorry, they're singing in my ear. Fuzzy friends! I tell you what, there's a lot of noise in the gallery today. Like Johnny and Nicola are very, very excitable today. Very excitable. But the fuzzy friends are just brilliant. 4 brand new characters to introduce you to, and I think these are just the absolute cutest dies ever. I mean, stamps I should say. My favourite is Ba'alam. It was literally, look at his little sentiment as well. Ba'alam says, "You're warm and cosy like a woolly jumper." You've also got Horace. Do you know what I only found out recently as well, and he's got them here, like how long owls' legs are?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a video doing the rounds where someone lifts up the owl's, you don't realise how long
the feathers, they've got really long legs. You don't think so, do you? Because when you see them perched on the trees and
like
things, the feathers cover them up, don't they? Yeah, so running across the floor.
Yeah.
I saw that one, yeah.
Brilliantly illustrated, brilliantly illustrated in this stamp here with Horace. You've then got Hugo, who's like a little chick. Wait, he's a little owl chick, isn't he?
Little chick, or I think so, or like a little penguin chick or something.
Chick.
Yeah. Depending on how you colour them, really.
Well, you're exactly right. And then you've got a beautiful daisy included as well. Fun, funky. Love the way that these have been created as well. Designed by Jane Gill, and they're an absolute steal today for £17 if you're platinum. $25 if you're shopping with us in the US as well. I mean, these are just really different again, aren't they? They're so much fun.
They are. It's a very distinctive style, and Jane's really good at this. I've seen her do this type of artwork before, and I just think it's something different. I've not got anything like this in my collection, and I just fell in love with these. You know that I love my stamping, and we've got little Bartlam there, just very psychedelic on this one. I'm going to demo with him later on tonight in the Craft House, and we're going to go blue.
Whoa.
It's like, creative license. Why can't a sheet be blue? Yeah, blue and yellow on my sample, I think it is, that I've done. But yeah, I just love him. I think he's absolutely gorgeous. And then we've got that lovely daisy design there. So you can see again, just very, very sort of sketchy outline with that lovely sort of jagged line around the edge. Very distinctive. And then again, bringing it back to little Hugo there.
That's cool.
Just gorgeous, isn't it? It really is. If you're wanting cards for children or even teenagers, sometimes they're quite hard to make cards for. I just think these are going to bring a smile to anybody's face.
Yeah.
And then you've got Horace there with his little knobbly knees. Absolutely beautiful, using your stencils in the background there. But yeah, either colouring with your inks. I've got some brand new inks for you later tonight on the Craft House. We're going to use some of those to colour our sheep in later. But yeah, beautiful. And then I did promise you.
Yes.
I did promise you that sneaky peek.
You're doing it now.
I'm going to do it now, yes, just so that I don't forget. So during craft along later, you might think, well, that's not using the dye very well, Jan. We're actually going to combine two of them. We've got the peacock feather at the top here.
Yeah,
We've got the entwining vines at the bottom.
Right.
I don't know quite how the best way to show you this. Probably if you look at it straightforward like that.
Yeah.
But we've got an element here that's loose. And when you pull this, I've called it a slide and pop.
Boom!
And you've got that lovely, if I can just get it to stand for the camera there, you can see we've got that gorgeous peacock feather inside there. All right, so I've called it slide and pop because it slides out. There's a mechanism inside here, which I'll go through with you on the craft along, that allows it to slide in and out. And then literally we just pull this section here and you've got that lovely
slide,
pop-up element inside. There's room to write your message at the bottom there. Okay, but yeah, just something a little bit different. And again, when you see it broken down into its sections, it's not as difficult as you look.
And I'm making that with you.
You are going to make this with me this afternoon.
Guy.
Yes, this guy. This guy, yes.
Right. I've not failed on the craft along yet, but today might be the day. Just by the way, the fuzzy friend you guys are absolutely loving. Jackie saying the lamb is adorable.
He is.
Oh my goodness. The owl is super cute. And Leanne says, Leanne says, Horace looks like my 18-year-old son after a night out. There he is.
Just a bit of fun, aren't they? They really are.
They're literally the most fun set. And as I say, 10% of a big stock has already gone. In the words of our lamb here, these are an absolute bargain.
Oh dear.
£17.60, $25.60. If you're after fun and funky, you need to get those into your life, and I have a feeling they're going to fly out of the door before Craft House tonight. Right, what else is happening? Well, we've got our Got It Good for this week. Oh dear. Bargain. Your Got It Good this week is all about our advanced discovery kits. It basically works out you're going to get two here, but you're getting one for half price. We've got our Adventures in Colour and the Art of Illustration as well. Brilliant Christmas gift ideas, and you get a whole selection of our different pens from the Spectrum Noir range with full tutorials and instructions as well. And as I say, a buy one, get one half price deal. That is only yours up until the end of play tomorrow. There'll be a brand new Got It Good on Monday. As always, lots of you getting in touch. Keep the chat coming in, whether you're on Facebook and YouTube, and get ready because we've got a first round of our Play Your Crafts Right game coming up very shortly. But before that, it is time to have a look at our first demo with Jan, and we're going to have a look at the layering panels, aren't we?
We are, yes. I'm going to go with that perfect peonies this morning. We're going to do a bit of inking, a bit of die cutting, and a bit of paper piecing. This one just lends itself, I think, to being paper pieced. So, if you haven't come across these before, we've got just approximately 6 inches by 4 inch panel on the metalwork there, and this is all going to cut into your card and cut out that outline shape with all the detail in the centre.
Okay.
So just before we do the die cut, I'm actually going to create a background to work on. So I'm just going to bring my craft mat in, and I've got some of the water reactive inks. Now, if you were watching on the Colour Me Happy show last night, we actually did this as a demo with the inks, but I'm just going to I want something to create quite a vibrancy for those paper pieced bits that we're going to pop back in. So again, I'm just using the craft mat. I found out that just purely by experimenting that you get that lovely beading on the craft mat that you don't get on the glass mat.
Yeah, we chatted about that yesterday.
Yeah, and that means then when you actually pick up the ink, you get these gorgeous little spots of ink which are really, really pretty. And again, just lightly tapping it into the ink. And it's just, I couldn't get this reaction on the craft mat. On the glass mat, should I say, yeah. So literally just pick up where you want it there, and that was the fuchsia. And then especially for our producer Johnny, here it comes, Johnny.
You're treating him.
I can't not. I have to plan this into every show now for our Johnny. He just gets so excited about the silent craft tool.
It's the littlest things, bless him. You can see the excitement. Yeah. He's up and down the corridor,
on a Saturday
around.
morning. Yeah. So again, literally just pop it.
He's just gone, it's tiny and it's not on, yet it still works.
It does still work, yeah. So when you've got an area that you like on the design, it's better to dry it. If I keep dipping it into the ink, I'm just going to end up eventually with one big pink sort of splodge of ink. So in order to keep all those lovely little speckles on there, it wants drying in between sections. And then all I'm going to do, at home, I would get another piece of cardstock and I'd literally be mopping up the rest of the ink because there's still quite a bit on there. But I'm just going to clean that off for now because I want to add a couple of extra colours in there. And I've just changed it up slightly from the one that I've done. I've got a couple of the pinks and then we're going to add some of that gorgeous crushed velvet in as well. So exactly the same, just misting it with water. That's all I've got in my spritzer bottle there.
Yeah.
And again, we're going to add some of that lovely plum pudding, which is a wee bit darker. I'm just going to aim for some of those areas that have still got white space in there and see if we can fill some of those in with those little spots and dots. And literally, once you're happy with it, again, I'm going to get that heat tool on it just to dry that section. If you carry on working on it while it's wet, depending on what colour choices you make, you could end up with sort of like sludge on there eventually, because obviously a lot of the colours blended together will make brown, whatever colours you choose. So yeah, just make sure that you do that drying in between the layers. And then the final layer that we're going to pop on there is that crushed velvet, just to give it a little bit of a slight different hue today, rather than, I used all the pinks on the one that I've done as a pre-prepared one, but I thought if we just add a bit of that purple in as well, it's just going to give us a slightly different look. So I'm doing exactly the same thing each time, just spritzing it until you get those lovely little sort of beads of ink. And then this one, we can, because it's darker, we can start and include that one over the top there. So again, just picking it up in the places that you want it, just adding some of that extra colour in there, and we're just sort of changing that colour tone slightly now from the really bright pink to more of that sort of I don't know, the crushed velvet's like it's like a proper mid-tone purple, I think, that one. But mixing it with the pink, you're going to get that sort of almost like making your own colourway on it. And I don't mind that there's some of the white areas in it, because we're going to die cut this in a second. We're going to use this to die cut the peonies. So we're going to get some parts of the petal work that's got that coloured area, and then we're going to get some parts of it have got those lovely little splatters on there as well. So I'm not going to do much more to that because I don't want to over ink it. She says, going back in the ink, I'm just seeing that corner. I just want a bit in that corner up there. That's it there,
there
look.
You go.
Yeah, just to fill that little space in. And I'm not worried if this is not perfectly dry, because you can actually die cut when the card's still just a fraction. It doesn't want to be wet through, but if it's just damp, it's not going to do any problems. So again, just to get rid of that. Okay. And literally pop that out of the way. And then what I want to do is actually stick the die on here to die cut it. Okay. So we're just going to take a couple of bits of low tack tape there, and again I'm just going to have a look as to which way, whether we want it that way, or where do we, you know, I think I want the more solid areas at the bottom of the flower there. Yeah. So again, just pop this down onto your card, and it was watercolour card that I had at the beginning here to work with the inks there. And then if we bring our plates in, I just happen to have got the large one still there from yesterday. So again, we'll pop this one in. Thin metal die, so just your normal shims if you're using the Gemini. If you've got any of the other brand machines out there, it's whatever you would need for a thin metal die. And then what I want to do is leave this in the die. I don't want to disturb it too much. So if you were with us for the craft along yesterday, we did this with the lettering for the dies we used yesterday on those sentiments. So I want to leave this in the die so that I can pick all those little pieces out to paper piece them. So I want to leave that as it is. You can see how well that's cut there. Okay. You can see all that line art in there where it's come out. I'm just going to take the edge piece away, and this one you can save it. I thought I could do another card with the extra piece, because you've actually got the frame there that you could inset something else back into. So I'm just going to pop that one to one side, and then what I've done is I've cut this again in the black. So for example, this would now If you wanted to just leave it like this and pop some acetate behind,
yeah.
that's one version of that particular design. So this is just our matte black cardstock that I've used here. We've got that pesky one little piece still in there again, look, somewhere. And I've cut it twice and stuck it together to make it a little bit more sort of rigid there.
Yes.
Got a little bit escape, that's it. But as I say, if you wanted to hang on to that outside piece and reset that, you know, you've got the makings of a card design as it is there. But we're not going to use that bit in the session today. What I have done is actually taken some silver glitter card, and I want to mount this on the silver. Now I've started doing the cut so that we can just speed up a little bit. What I've done, if you take your die, I'll just be careful with this with the pieces in. And I've just laid it down on the reverse with the blade side or the cutting surface up, and then drawn around the outside of the die with my pencil. And then I'm going to cut it out using the scissors. And because we went round the outside of the die, it means that it's going to be slightly bigger than the die cut itself, because obviously the cutting edge is set about 1/8 of an inch into the edge of the die. So just by literally taking that outside edge, once we've cut this out, I did most of the cutting earlier because it's like watching paint dry, isn't it, watching somebody cut out?
I find it quite relaxing.
Do you?
Not watching paint dry.
Okay, but then when we turn this over, when I pop this one on here, you can see there's just a very, very faint edge outside there. If I lift that up a little bit closer, you can just see that we've just got that little tiny 1/8 of an inch border all the way around it. So what I want to do then is stick the black down. So I'm going to use, because we're working onto glitter card, I'm going to use some wet glue. If you're working onto a normal card, then the dotty tape pen would be your friend. But purely because we're going onto glitter card, I like the wet glue because it actually sort of seeps into the glitter area and gives you a really good sort of bond with that glitter. So again, I'm just going for sort of areas that have got that larger surface area on the back of the die there. Make sure you've got plenty of contact points, because we're then going to start and inlay some of those gorgeous pink pieces that we've just cut. So make sure you've got enough glue to stick it down. So wherever you can find sort of a larger bit of the black. Yep, that should work, I think. And then we're going to pop that one on the top of here. So again, just lining it up so that you've got that tiny little border showing all the way around. And then again, if you have one, I tend to get my brayer out now, and literally, if you turn it over onto the back there.
It's a good point, actually. Johnny's just said, not seen a brayer for ages, then we've seen it for 2 days on the trot, and actually,
I
normally associate brayers with obviously, you know, your inks and whatnot, not for using it to kind of...
I use mine quite a lot there. Now, what I didn't do, I've skipped a step now, but we should still be able to do it, is I wanted to add some gilding wax to the black frame. And what I've done is when I die cut the black frame, rather than just popping it, we just pop this one through once as a die cut. If you then pop your embossing mat over the top of it and emboss it, pass it through again and emboss it, I don't know whether we can, you'll be able to see this when I do the gilding wax, but it's popped all the veining into the leaves and everything, which now gives me a surface area that I can work. And I've got the silver gilding wax, and I love this on the black card because you get like almost like a wrought iron effect on it. So again, lightly picking that up so that it's not solid black, and you can see those raised areas now that have been embossed. See the veining in the leaves there where it's picked it up. It's worth that second pass through the machine just to get, again, look, on the leaves there. There's some of the petal work's been raised as well. You can see the extra parts in there, and it really does make a difference. And you can do that with all 4 of these panel dies. There's elements on all of them there. But really lightly, just to add that extra detail onto here. So just over all of it. I just think, as I say, it makes it almost look like a metal kind of finish, like the wrought iron that you see on the railings and things like that. So just to add that extra touch to it. And then like we talked about last night, you can always buff the gilding wax as well. So again, just with a smooth cloth. You don't want to do it with, I wouldn't bring my kitchen paper back in, because what it'll do is just rip the surface of the paper, and we end up with sort of problems there. So again, the nice smooth cloths, and just literally a bit of pressure. Just be careful that, you know, you don't want to lift it back off the, I'd have been better doing this before I stuck it down onto the background layer really. But just where you've got the gilding wax, and it just brings up a nice sheen on the wax. So you've seen us do this for quite a few times with the gilding wax. So that's my base. Just get rid of that bit off there. And then what I'm going to do is bring back in that layer that we've just cut. All right, and you can see we've got all those lovely pieces now that we can have a play with. Now, yesterday when we were doing this, I had sticky adhesive behind it.
Yes.
But today, because I'm working onto the glitter card, I'm literally just going to pop, and your fine applicators work great for this, because I'm just going to pop some wet glue into those petals. And the reason I cut it twice was to give you that nice sort of deep, almost like a little well area to sink those pieces back into.
What glue are you using onto the
so this is actually our tacky glue that I just decant, the PVA, so it comes to you in the bigger bottle. All right, but I find it does come out of this one quite fast, so I decant it into the little applicators there. And then just use your pokey tool. You can get these pieces out then, and just start. And I love doing this. It's quite therapeutic. It does take a couple of minutes to do, but it's worth it in the end.
It was so satisfying yesterday putting the letters back in on that craft along, like doing a little crafty jigsaw.
So again, I'm just using that pokey tool to sort of go from the back and grab those pieces out of the... And if you keep them in the die like that, you can see exactly where they're going to fit. So again, I'm just going to work my way round. And you can fill in as many of those pieces or as few as you wish. But that is basically the idea. Now, it's going to take a little while to do that. So obviously, in good old TV style, if I bring the one in that I've done and filled it all in. And you see how, and just because we've got that area in the background that's got some of those little splatters on, we've got some areas that have got more of a solid colour in it. But I just think it gives a really nice finished effect on there. And then I've kept the card actually quite simple because I didn't want to detract from this. So I've made a nice tall card. So I think we're on 4.5 by 8, And then I've just done a simple, again, kept it nice and simple with the matten layer. So again, we'll just pop that on with some of that all-purpose glue. And again, I'm still working through that scrap pile. So the piece of silver mirror card here was just off the scrap pile. I thought, right, it just wants something round the centre of here just to sort of lift it. So I've got that lovely panel of silver mirror card in there. And then I am currently obsessed. If you were watching us on the Craft House last week, I know this sold out really quickly, but the Dreamies brought some beautiful boxes of pearls.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and I'm just obsessed with them. You'll see them on all these samples because I just love them.
They sold out pretty much.
They did go very quickly.
Show,
I'm sure we might be able to get them back. They do them in different colours. Different colour ranges, so I'm hoping we might be able to get those back. And then what I've done is I've got a little bit of tape on the back of this one again, just to raise it that little bit. It's only about sort of an 1/8 of an inch deep, the tape, but it just brings that little, all these little tiny bits are the bits that make a difference to your finished projects. Again, if it was something that you want to post, it might be worth popping this one on flat. But I'm going to pop that towards the top, like so. And then I've done, on a scrap of I've used the pink card again that I've done the die cutting from, that I did the inking on. And again, just added sentiment. The sentiments don't come with the die cuts, but this is just one from my stash. And I thought, live life in full bloom, literally just match that perfectly. And you can see there how we can put something together that's really quite unusual using those gorgeous panel dies.
Really, really beautiful. Loads of you chatting about that demo on the socials. Really pretty card, Jan, says Susan Stanley. Chuck saying, wow, gives a great metal look. That technique really does. Lovely Jan, says Lena. Suzette says beautiful. Whoa, there's so many comments. Mandy Doodle Hands, stunning. Barbara says beautiful. The Dizzy Crafter, lush. Jan, love that word, lush.
Thank you.
So much depth to that, Jan. Beautiful, says Rebecca. Stunning, says Gilmore. Adriana, Jan, great. Sue, this is so beautiful, Jan. I love watching your crafting. Tell you what, more of that to come a little bit later on our craft along. If you want to get this collection now, you can do £35.08 if you're platinum, or $43.60. Your 4 different designs there comes with your 16 sheets of Nina cardstock as well. And the great thing is we'll send that out to you, and then you'll have this afternoon's 2-hour craft along to come to once you get your goodies. We've also got your sparkle glitter brush pens available for you today once again. 15 pen set for you there for £40 or $52. You've got a collection of your essentials. You've got your 3-piece antique vintage, your earthy naturals, your tint and tones, and you've also got your 3-piece clear overlay collection too. £40 or $52 is the platinum price on those ones. Lots of love coming in as well on the socials about the craft along. I'm pleased that we did give you the little sneaky peek. Lots of you saying that you are going to be tuning in for that. Linda D, can't wait until 3. Leela says, love that concept, Jan. And Gillian says, love this slide and pop. Leela also saying, this is going to be a Saturday packed with laughs. Ben is on a roll. Bah. Oh, sorry, I thought Ben is on a roll. Bah. No, it's bah, isn't it? Bah. Right, well, listen, it's time to take a bit of a break from the crafting right now as we get ready for today's first round of the game, which is going to be a crafty conundrum. Now, how this works, of course, you're going to play along at home. If you are with me, Team Facebook, if you're with Jan, Team YouTube, and basically we are going to see 5 anagrams in this round, all to do with, I believe, Thanksgiving. You have to try and unscramble them, write them down in the comments, and whoever gets the most, of course, will win the competition at the end. So there's going to be 5 in this round, 5 in the second round, and if you're watching on Facebook and I win, you could stand a chance of winning one of 5 vouchers. If you're on YouTube and Jan wins, again, you've got the chance of winning one of 5 vouchers to spend with us. It was close last week, wasn't it, between you and I?
Point in it, wasn't there?
Will it
but
be
a win's a win, Ben.
A win's a win,
isn't it?
It will go down the history books as just a win.
Yeah.
But who will win this week? Hailing from Sheffield, England, Jan, the crafty headmistress.
In the red corner,
Woo!
YouTube.
And in the blue corner, originally from Devon, but now hailing from just up the road, Ben, the crafty substitute teacher. You'll have to watch yesterday to get that joke. Mosby. Oh, let's get ready.
I'm
to
ready. I'm ready. Number 1. Oh, well, that one's a great start. I like that.
I laugh if we both got it wrong. I think after last week...
I know, we grumbled a bit, didn't we, last week?
We grumbled and said it was too difficult, and then Adam's made it, hopefully, a little bit easier. Has everyone got that on the socials? Have you written yours down?
I have.
What have you got?
Yeah, I've got Thanksgiving for that one. That was...
Boom!
Yeah.
That was nice and easy, wasn't it, eh?
It was. I hope they're all going to be like that.
Me too. Me too. Oh, hang on, I haven't got anything to...
So that's
hang on.
a point each then on that one, Ben. That's a good start.
That is a good start.
Nice
Better than we did last week.
Yes.
Okay, right, let's write that off there. That was nice and easy. All right, so 1 point each after the first round. Number 2. Oh. How are we getting on in the gallery? So Nicola's just gone, oh, Johnny's got it. You can see the answer, of course, Nicola. Yeah, Johnny's playing, he's got it. Jan, you got an answer?
I have got an answer.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, I'm going with the turkey.
I'm going for a little bit of turkey.
Yep, fantastic.
Adam, this is too easy. Can you make it a bit harder? I am here next week. You watch. It'll be crafty mathematics with like pi and Pythagoras and stuff. Right, all right, so that's 2-2.
Number 3 then.
Ooh. Is there a timer on this? Oh. Got it! What you got at home? What have you got on the socials? What you reckoning? Okay.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Okay.
Oh!
Timer out! Timer out! Come on, there's got to be a timer. I've got it like an hour ago. Oh, is that it? Jan, turn your board around.
I've only got half of it. Can I have half a point?
You have half a point.
Well, I'm assuming that the second one was football.
And the first one is American.
Oh, of course it is. Can I have half a point there?
Half. So that's
Thank
3
you.
plays 2.5.
That half might, you never know, it might come in handy later
It probably will, Jan, to be fair. It probably will.
How did I not see that? Goodness me.
It's funny sometimes. Oh, hang on.
Can't see for looking. Oh.
Oh, hello. Oh. No.
I don't know what one is, but I've made a word out of it.
I've got it. I think I've got this. These have got harder.
Yeah,
Adam, it's too hard.
We spoke too soon there. Yeah, we got a bit giddy.
I've got it. Nandy's got it right. Gilmore's got it right. Dawn's got it.
What did you put?
Have you got an answer?
Yeah.
It's not
But
Thanksgiving.
I haven't heard of it. A spectrum iron. Spectrum noir. Why is
Spectrum iron.
How's that Thanksgiving?
When I first looked
I
at
thought
it,
there was some kind of thing.
that's what I thought. I wrote down iron, and I thought,
goodness gracious
crumpet
me.
iron.
Where does spectrum noir fit into Thanksgiving? Please tell me. Are we going to give the turkey eyes with the pens?
I don't know, but that's brilliant. Spectrum iron.
Can I have half for me spectrum again?
Oh, another half.
I'm having half.
4-3. Oh dear.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
You guys said they were all Thanksgiving. Spectrum iron. Right.
So we could be anywhere then.
Right, this one's kind of apparently.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, come on. That is hilarious. Spectrum iron.
A spectrum iron, yeah. I've no idea what one of those is, but it
I said
fits.
to you, I was putting down crumpet iron. I was like, oh, is that kind of like a thing they do on Thanksgiving? Like they get the iron out to like crisp up the crumpets.
Oh dear.
Right, you got one.
Yeah.
What you got?
Gobble gobble.
Gobble, gobble.
Yeah. Gobble gobble.
Oh, wow. So that is the end of the first round where we've had...
He's in the lead again.
5-4, but I tell you what, that was a lot of fun. We've learnt a lot.
Bit of a curveball in there, I must admit. Wait. A spectrum iron in the middle there, yeah. Where did that come from?
Spectrum iron. How did everyone do? Most people getting them all right, I think, apart from that little curveball that was chucked in there. So 5-4 to Team Facebook after round 1. We'll come back with round 2 in just a little while. Yeah, a craft. Yeah, maybe that is a new idea. The spectrum iron.
A spectrum iron.
Yeah. Or a crumpet iron. Anyway, we're going to go and mull that over just for a few moments whilst we give you the opportunity to check out your baskets, whatever you've got in them, and we will come back in about 2 minutes with more fun frolics and demonstrations. Gobble, gobble.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook. where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Achieve crisp, precise, and perfect die cutting results every time with the Gemini Accessories Plastic Shim. The idea behind the plastic shim is that it creates a thicker plate combination, offering an even more precise die cutting result with each pass. Simply pop a plastic shim between your cutting plates and then roll through your Gemini die cutting machine and voila! An amazing precise cut every time. Plastic shims work really well with detailed or thin metal dies. So if intricate cutting is your thing, then the Gemini Accessories Plastic Shim is your best friend. There are plastic shims sized to work with a whole range of Gemini machines. We have some awesome deals going, so visit Crafters Companion website and find out more.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon. Hello and welcome back to Crafters TV, the home of crafty demonstrations, inspiration and general chaos and madness. We're having a lot of fun today. Hopefully you're having a lot of fun with us as well. Second round of our crafty conundrums coming up very shortly indeed. But we thought we'd have a quick look at the Floral Corner and Edge collection, Edge Dies collection that we've got coming up a little bit later on, new from Creative Expressions. 8 dies in total in this collection that you're going to get with almost £20 over $30 saving today, less whatever your discount is in Club Inspire. If you're Platinum, £64 or $92. Such a lovely selection of dies to work with right here, all with this beautiful floral bouquet. So which one are you going to show us, Jan? Because there's lots of beautiful dies to choose from.
Okay, Edger. This one really sort of shouted out to me as soon as I opened the kit because I love daisies and gerberas are up there with one of my, and then peonies, a couple of my favourite flowers. So yeah, this one sort of, they're all of a similar design, so you'll get the idea when we work with this one how they work. So the edge ones, and then the corners, I've actually got a demo with that during Craft House later on this evening here in the UK. So just to show you how they work, because obviously if you're buying into something new, I think it's great that we can actually show you how they work before you commit to buying them. So again, nice size dies on these. So I've got that lovely brown metal that they use at Creative Expressions, which is slightly different. We go for the silver, but it does mean that you can identify them well. And again, very similar to our own edgeable dies. You've got a section on the die there where at the top here, I've got a cutting line that begins and goes round the outside edge of all those beautiful flowers and foliage until it gets to the bottom, and then it stops again here. And then this side's got the beautiful cut-in detail, but no external cutting edge. So when I turn this over, I'm going to get this side cut out of my cardstock and this side cut in. And it's got that beautiful sort of filigree design that they're called the paper cuts range, to make it look like those gorgeous laser cut images that we can buy. So what I've got then is just a piece of textured cardstock from one of our 12 by 12 pads. And I'm going to pop this sort of down the middle there, looking that this line through the middle is probably, you know, pretty much vertical there. And then once we've got that in place, I'm going to stick it again onto this side that's cut away. So again, just popping that on. I've got sort of a similar gap at the top and bottom. I'm not worried that there's a little bit more space at this side, because this part of the cardstock is going to remain in that sort of rectangular shape, and then this side's going to cut away. So again, I'm just going to stick it on the side that I know is technically the waist. Yeah. And then bring those plates back in. Let me just see, I can just swap to the smaller ones actually, because they will fit. These, I think all of these will fit in your junior machine. I will double check that for you for the later show, but I'm fairly certain they're all a similar size. And again, I'm just going to pop those thin metal die plates together, and then we'll pop this one through our Gemini, because the junior plates will fit through sideways. It just goes through a little bit quicker than taking those large plates through. So again, if you're working on a larger project, you might need the larger plates to encompass that cardstock, but in this particular one, we're fine on there. Now then, because this is a great way to explain to you about the cutting points on the die, because this went through sideways, then the machine's dealing with all the cutting points across here. Yeah. This one is actually narrower. So I've just got a little section in the centre here that's not quite cut through. Now, if I had used the large plates and had it this way, it works absolutely fine. But all I'm going to do is just bring that metal shim in, which is what we designed it for, just to add that little bit of extra pressure. So try them in your machine. If you're buying into these, try them in the machine. I always try them without the metal die first, because if you don't need it, all it's doing is adding extra bulk. I know it's only very thin, but the metal sheet is obviously solid, and that's sometimes where you get the warping on the card. So if we have a look at it now, you can see that that's cut now. That area that was sort of a little bit foggy in the middle has got that lovely cut technique in there. Yeah. So just try it and see with your machines, and then literally I'm going to take the tape away. And I'm just going to bring that old die brush again. That's come in handy this last couple of days. I've misplaced mine at home, because I keep mine in a box. Again, in an attempt to try and stay a little bit more tidy, I have mine in an A5 box this size, and so that I work in the box, all the bits fall in the box, and it's hiding somewhere in my craft room. And I've called for it a couple of times, but it's hiding well and truly. So I need to have a good look for it and see if I can find it.
Need to do some more recall training.
Yes, it's not doing very well at the minute. But again, just by popping this over the top of the die, you can see it's helping to pop some of the pieces out, but it also loosens the die because it's very intricate here. The last thing you want to do is to tear this when it comes out of the die. So lift the paper away from the die rather than the die away from the paper, and you can see there that we've got that lovely piece on here. Now my cardstock was just a fraction longer than the die, so all I'm going to do is snip into that cut and take away that outside edge. But just look how decorative and how fine those cuts are, and that's what you're getting with these, that lovely, real sort of intricate fine die cutting, you know. And I know I couldn't do this with a craft knife. Some people are very skilled with the craft knives and they do all this sort of paper cutting, but I would not be able to get that cut with a craft knife. I'd end up with bits missing off the heads of the flowers and all sorts of things. So that's going to be my my piece that I'm going to work with. Just snip that and tidy that little piece up there. And what I've done, let me just pop all those bits to one side out of the way for a minute. I've just taken some from my stash. I just found a piece of, rather than using an inked background this time, this is meant to look like ink, but it's actually a piece, it's actually hunky-dory cardstock that's meant to look as if it's been inked, that I've had in my stash quite a long time. So I thought, again, trying to use up some of that surplus stock. But you can see where I've just literally laid this down and stuck it onto the card. And you've got that detail, it's almost like a positive and a negative image. So you've got the detail cut out at this side, but then you've got it cut in at this side of the die. Now, what we could have done is actually popped another colour under here if you wish. So some glitter card, you know, some gold glitter card might look nice just under that half of it that's within the cardstock there. Lots and lots of different ways of doing it, but I wanted to keep this really simple so that you can see that die at its best. So I've just made a card blank out of the craft card, which is a traditional 5x7 size card. Again, I'm going to go to that Floral all-purpose glue because we're just working with cardstock onto cardstock, and stick this one down. And then I've got a few little embellishments just to finish it off so that the die cut is the focal part there of the actual card. I wanted you to be able to see just how nice they are and the fact that they can actually carry the card. You don't have to do much more to it. Little bit like our creator card range, where this wants to be the focal point on the card there. And then all I've got is a couple of little sentiments. These are little tiny ones again out of the stash. So we've got Make a Wish, and then I've just popped these onto little foam pads there.
A couple of questions coming in about sandwiches.
Yep.
Not ham and cheese ones. I've got a sandwich for lunch actually. I've got last night's leftover dinner. I was going to say, what's it called that I've got? It's called, like the...
Guess us in, please, on a postcard.
It's like lasagna, but it's not lasagna.
Moussaka?
No. Not. It's something illa. What's it called? Oh, it's got up my head.
Illa?
Not chinchilla.
Not enchiladas.
Enchilada? Is that right?
Enchiladas. They're like rolled up.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Like sort of like lasagna, isn't it?
Then you have the stuff in the middle, yeah.
That's what I've got.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, that's not the point of me jumping in. So, to do with sandwiches, can I ask, because I did as a crafter, why you do the cutting on the metal sheet? And Georgia also saying, when you use the metal shim, do you remove the plastic shim?
No, the metal shim is an addition to your normal cutting sandwich. So I'll just go through I'll go through it again for you.
Yeah, thank you.
I've just got a little bit, I'll just finish this one off and I'll go through that plate combination again. So we've got a little bit of twine. Now then, producer Johnny's just saying about the angel policy. I'm fairly certain, Johnny, that they work along the same lines we do, that if you're die cutting, you can make as many as you wish. But what they don't like you to do is just die cut the images like this and sell these. You have to make a finished product. I'm fairly certain that that's how they operate. And then I've just got some little gems, which I thought would look nice, just on the centre of those 3 daisies there. So I've got a larger one for the middle there. I might need a little bit more glue on that one. All right, so that one's going to go in the middle. Whoops. Behave. There we go. And then 2 slightly smaller ones to just go at the other side. Now at home, I've got a little sticky pencil that I use for these, and I forgot to put it in my bag. So here we go. One on there. One on there,
yeah,
and that's my design done. As I say, I just wanted to let that die cut do the talking. So you can see there, 5x7 will fit in an envelope. The bulk of it's flat. There's just a little tiny foam pads behind that one at the bottom that says believe in yourself, but really, really pretty. So going back to those plates.
Oh yes.
The normal cutting sandwich, if you're using a Gemini, as you're aware, is the 2 clear plates along with your magnetic shim and your plastic shim. All right, so I cut with this one first. Had it been in my large Gemini this way, I can guarantee that would have cut in one pass without any metal shim. Because the rollers were coming across here and dealing with this width of cutting pieces, all the cutting edges were across the width rather than the length. So if I'd have put this through on my large plates vertically, it would have cut this out in one pass without any metal shim. It's just learning how the pressure works with the die. Because we used the junior plates, nothing wrong with that at all, but through the large, if you'd have popped this through the junior, they would have gone through vertically. It probably would have cut first time.
Right.
But because I chose to put the junior plates through our large Gemini, you can see there that this goes through sideways, so the rollers are dealing with the length of all the die cutting areas, much more of them. And what it meant was we had that little tiny bit, it's always the middle that doesn't cut, because of that system and all the science behind it. So, like I said, try it first with just the cut. The machines, although they're all made to the same specification, a lot of it I think is how much you use them. My Gemini at home I have had since it came out, and it's still as keen today as it was when I bought it. And it would have done this without any problem. Obviously there is slight variations, you know, just it's something that's manufactured. Of course there's going to be just very slight variations. So because this didn't cut, what I did was add that magnetic, that metal shim, and you put your cutting edge of the die face down. So you're cutting metal to metal. You've got two really solid surfaces there that are going to make contact and allow that die to cut, even though it's still going sideways. All right, but you do keep all the other shims in place. So I'm not removing anything. The only time I would remove the magnetic shim is if I was embossing. The silicone embossing mat and the magnetic shim never play together. They're not friends. Oh. So if you put the purple embossing shim, or if you've got an older Gemini, originally it was a black rubber mat, then this one comes out.
Right.
But as far as the metal shim's concerned, you're adding this. I mean, it's literally wafer thin.
Yeah.
So you're not adding a lot in the sense of depth. It's the fact that it's solid, and you're getting a solid metal die against a solid metal plate, and you get a perfect cut, which allowed it to carry on going through sideways and still do the cut for us. So I hope that explains it for you out there. And just, you know, so as I say, give it a go and see what works with your machine.
Brilliant. Again, if you've got any more questions relating to anything, then do let us know. We've got another half hour to go on the show, but this collection you're going to see in more detail later on in the Craft House tonight. £64 or $92, and you've got a whole selection of beautiful florals in there, from your daisy bouquet, which you've just seen, through to your iris, your crocus is in there, you've got your clematis in there too, jasmine. There's a whole host of really beautiful dies, brand new today. £64 or $92 is the deal. We've got more to show you from the shows which are coming up later on, but before all of that, it is time for round 2 on today's Play Your Crafts Right. Yay!
I promise I'll try and do better this time. I'm still chuckling over the Spectrum Iron.
Spectrum Iron. That was funny. It's 5-4 after the first round. There's 5 more points to play for here. If you have just joined us, you're going to see some anagrams. This is Crafty Conundrum. So all you have to try and do is work out what the crafty anagram is. Some of these crafty apparently, some of these not. If you're watching on Facebook, you're with me. If I have the most points at the end of this round, 5 of our Facebook players will win a voucher to spend with us. If you're watching with Jan, and if YouTube wins, then 5 YouTube viewers will win one of 5 vouchers. However, it is all to play for. 5 points to 4 with 5 to play for. I'm a little bit worried here, Jan, because I heard Nicola and Johnny chatting, saying that this round's a little bit difficult.
Oh, I'm just looking. I've got my hat on again. Look.
Oh yeah, you have.
Yeah, got my Christmas hat on. I love it. I can't wait to see while my partner in crime comes in, because she'll not be wearing the hat, will she? Because she's, bless her, she's a little shorty. My Debs.
Oh yeah, yeah. She'll be. Yeah, she's sort of there.
Bless her.
Right.
Right. How we good then?
I
Number
think
1.
so.
Oh my goodness, that's a long.
Oh.
What?
Yeah. Got it.
You've got it.
Yeah. I got it. I'm going to stay silent. Is there a time limit on this? He says getting competitive. They've got it on YouTube. Oh, your followers have got it, Jan.
Oh, crikey. It's that first one I've got. I think I've got the second word. What's the first one? No, I've got the second one, I think. No, I haven't, because the semester's it. Oh, I don't know. I've not got it, because that's not right. I am going to kick myself big time. My brain stopped working. Oh, my God. I'm going home. I'm done. I'm going home.
Oh, don't go!
I'm going to sit down
She's
over
off.
here, honestly.
She's gone! Is it? Never had a forfeit before, says
Oh,
Johnny.
my days. Just shoot me now. I'm sorry, YouTube.
I'm feeling a little bit smug here because in previous episodes where I've come up against Jan, she's always beaten me. And
I don't think I can win you now, can I? Unless you go
6-4.
terribly wrong.
6-4. There's 4 to play for. You can.
Yeah.
4 to play
If
for.
you carry on like this, though.
Well.
Oh, gosh, don't.
Oh.
One of my favourite things in the world.
What, chocolate cake? That doesn't say, oh, sorry. You put chocolate cake down, have you? What you got? What you got?
It's a flamey. Oh. No, I put a family, of course.
Of course it
like
is.
I said, one of my favourite things in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Got another one there. Oh, gosh, I've got some catching up. I need you to get one wrong, Ben.
Right, 7-5.
Oh, all right. Don't rub it
No,
in.
I'm only repeating
Don't rub it in.
they're saying. 3 left.
What on earth?
Oh, yeah. The second word I don't think is what you think it is.
No, it's not. I've got it now.
Yeah, that took a while. Gilmore's got it right. What's that got to do with though?
That's not crafting or Thanksgiving. Maybe
Is it
after
Thanksgiving,
you've
is
had
it?
the lunch. Yeah. Yeah, maybe after you've had the lunch. Yeah. You need a little afternoon nap, don't you? Yes.
don't you?
Yeah. I know when we've had, I know the Thanksgiving dinner is very similar to Christmas lunch, isn't it? And I know when we've eaten Christmas lunch, everybody's sort of like, oh.
Do you do that thing of you have like a massive Christmas lunch, so like 3 courses or whatever, everyone retires to the living room and has a little nap, and then you go to the Christmas dinner, you go, I'm not going to eat anything else.
Yeah.
But then you get up, and what you do is you everything that you've had like for Christmas dinner, you put into a sandwich.
That's right, yeah.
The biggest sandwich.
Scooby burger.
Scooby, yeah, it's like a Scooby sandwich. Yes.
Oh wait, I've lost count now. Have we got 2 left?
8-6, 2 left. Oh, got it. Yeah.
Oh.
Jan's got it.
Like these as well. Yeah.
I make a lovely soup out of this particular thing.
Yes, very much so. A nice butternut squash.
Butternut squash.
Yep.
9-7.
Oh, he is,
Do I get a prize if I get them all right?
Oh.
Johnny says, yeah, you get to work until 9 o'clock tonight.
You get to lead the craft along this afternoon.
To get to lead it?
Yes.
Oh, no, you're all right. Can you imagine?
Right, this is it now then, isn't it? I'm stuck. I'm not going to be able to... What on earth?
Jeepers.
What?
Oh, got it. Oh, you got it, Jan? I think sometimes when you've got... If that was all like... Because that's obviously been separated into 4 words, hasn't it? If you
if
shoved
you'd
that
put
all
all
together,
those letters together, I don't think we would have ever have got it. No, I think it needs to be in the fact that you know that there's 4 words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
What you got?
I got slimline curved border edgeables.
Boom!
Not agbeables. Yep. Oh.
Well, that was it.
2, 3, 4, 5.
I mean, on any other day, Jan, I mean, 8 would be a winning score.
So I just dropped 2 points. So I lost the American football.
Yeah.
And the Spectrum Iron.
Spectrum Iron.
And then the Creative Expressions, but I got my 2 half points, didn't I?
Yes.
I am sorry, guys. Honestly, I am kicking myself, I'll tell you. I don't like losing. And the fact that I missed Creative Expressions, good lordy.
It's the way the cookie crumbles when you come up against a wordsmith like me. I mean, the pressure can get to anybody, really.
Yes.
That's 3 weeks in a row I've won. Who's on next week?
Oh, bring it on. It's not me. I think I'm here Sunday next week.
Okay. I'm just having a look.
Who's here
See,
Saturday?
Is it Debbie Robinson? I've got a feeling. Or is it Michelle? Maybe Michelle. Michelle. Okay. Last time I came up against Michelle, it wasn't pretty. But listen, congratulations to you if you managed to get loads right. Let us know how many you got right in the comments. Did anyone else get 10 out of 10? Let me know. And if you're watching on Facebook, 5 of you will be winning a prize very shortly indeed. We will announce the winners very shortly. But I'm off to go and celebrate. Yeah!
Look.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative craft products with tutorials and demonstrations. Our craft experts, where every day.
Quiet.
The minute, so apologies for that. Well done to everyone who took part in Play Your Crafts Right. And by the way, congratulations to those of you who spotted the deliberate mistake on these on the last item. We should have said slimline, of course. Well done to those of you who picked up that it said slime line. I'm not quite sure what that is, but well done for. Yes. But if you got that right, well done. You got 11 out of 10 for getting slime line. But a lot of fun. We'll announce the winners very shortly. Just a quick message which has come in before we move on to the stamps. C was just chatting about the plates before we did the game, saying, why do all the plates you use look so flat? Do you have a crafty fairy that flattens them for you at night whilst you're sleeping?
Not particularly.
I don't think they look that flat,
a lot
do they?
of it is about the housekeeping. You know, turning them over, turning them round, rotating them, you know, and they've got a slight curve to them. But it is literally about that housekeeping. Obviously, we use the machines every day, 3 times a day, so it's trying to get the most out of those plates. They do take some hammer, but if you keep doing the rotating, using different parts of it to cut, it does help with the longevity of your plates.
Flip and rotate.
Flip and rotate, that's the one, yep.
When Craig first said that, I thought you were saying flip and rotate.
No, flip and rotate.
Just flip and rotate.
Yep.
Right. Lots more to show you in the last 20 minutes or so. Pop-up metal dies, again, new from Creative Expressions. If you love your cards that have that sort of like kinetic movement, a little bit something different inside, you will love these. We've got 5 different designs. You've got your woof, you've got your perfect pals, you've got your hooray, surprise, and then the little like a little VW camper, isn't it?
It is,
Top right.
yeah,
On the road, £50 platinum price for these, $74 if you're shopping with us in the US and you're in Club Inspire. And we're going to have a little look at these now.
Yeah, I chose woof for this first demo. And then later on tonight, I'm going to do the little camper van. Couldn't resist. That is so cute. So yeah, but the doggy side of me, I had to do the little woof. So again, this is the paper cuts collection. So you've got that lovely intricate cutting. And again, we've got a range of pop-out dies, but these are completely different. You know, you've got some real different ideas in here. So you're basically looking here at about a 5 1/4 inch square. All right, and they are sort of similar in the sense that you've got that line here that's going to be that centre fold of the card. So you've got a score line at the bottom, a couple of score lines at the top that allow you to fold it in a manner that this will fold inside and fold flat in your card. So what I did, because there wasn't anything on the outside, I've literally measured the distance from that little score line there. You can just see that here.
Yeah.
Measured the distance and then did the same on the front, and I've just used a permanent marker pen to just pop a little line on the outside so that I knew where that line was. And then what I've done is I've taken a piece of cardstock that measures 11 1/4 by 5 3/4. All right, and instead of scoring across the middle, and I had to stop myself from doing this because when I'm making card blanks, you know, you cut your card blank, you score it in the middle, you fold it in half, it's automatic. But if you fold it in half, you're going to get a fold line across the middle of your cutout here. If you imagine this is going to be the center line, so you don't want to put that score line in just yet. So what I did was use my ruler and just measured the halfway mark here. So along that 11 1/4 inch side, I've just measured it at 5 3/4 and popped a little pencil line at each side so that it doesn't need to go all the way across. You just need to be able to see it to line up those marks with the edge of it.
Yeah.
And then again, I'm going to stick it down because I don't want it to move while it's going through the machine. So what I'm going to do is pop those little marks and then just eyeball that I've got about the same distance. I've made the card blank slightly wider than the die, just so that I'm going to get that cut-in factor. And then I'm going to tape it along this inside again. I always try and go for an area that I know is going to be the waist, okay? And again, I'm going to bring those larger plates in because of the size of the project there and pop that on the big Gemini plate. And wherever you can, just twist it that little bit. And the reason for that is your rollers are coming along parallel to here. When this is straight, they're going to hit the die, and especially with something that's got such a lot of metal exposed, you've got that jump onto the die, and then you'll often hear it clunk off the other end. If you just flick it slightly to within the parameters of your plate, the die is going to approach it and hit the corner first, so you don't get as much clunking. It's just a little way of sort of getting around it, because I know sometimes it can be a bit scary when the machine makes those noises. It's not actually doing anything wrong, it's just getting on and off the metal die. That's all it's doing. So again, normal thin metal dies, so we're just going to pop that through the Gemini, and that's going to cut that detail into my card. There's going to be no edge comes away from it, it's just detail inside the card. So the whole of the outside edge of the card is going to remain intact, and then it's also going to pop some score lines in for me as well that we can use to fold. So if we just take those back off here and show you the back of the, okay.
Oh, wow.
Fantastic. And I'm just going to keep, you can see here in the design, there's a couple of gorgeous little bones. I'm going to keep those just to use as decoration. There's another one there. All right. And then this bit, I didn't even need to do anything with it. All right, so you end up with your piece that looks like this.
Yeah.
So the next thing that I'm going to do then is actually take my scoreboard, because I do want a fold line in these two outside pieces. So I'm just going to grab the score tool, and I know that I've scored it in half. It wants to be at 5 3/4. So just finding that line here, and then literally score from the edge, just that little outside area. And then I'm going to follow that score line down and do the same at this side. Okay, So don't go across the middle of your little doggy there. We don't need him to have a score line. And then there's a little bit of folding to do. So the first ones, obviously if you're going to fold your card in half, these become a valley fold so that the card folds together. And then you need to push the little doggo forward, and you've got a score line here at the bottom. So he's going to pop out. So this one wants pushing forwards, because he's going to sit up in the middle of the card. And then at the top here, there are 2 more score lines just at the top. They're very faint, but you can just see them in the top area there. The first one is going to pop out, so I'm just going to nip that behind there. And the second one becomes a little mountain, so you're almost zigzagging. All right, and then once you've got those folds in place, if you just gently push this down, you'll find that you can get everything to meet up and line it up at the bottom there. Just make sure we're all nice and straight, and then once that's there, you can burnish those lines into place. So I've got 2 on the outside edge, I've got the one at the bottom of the dog, I've got one there, and I've got a sneaky little one inside just at the top there. So you can see now that we've got that lovely element. If we have a look at that from the front when I open him up, you can see there what we've got him ready to pop out of the card.
Ah, so good.
Absolutely gorgeous, isn't he? Yeah. And then again, you know, the decoration, you can do whatever you wish with him. So what I did is I've taken that same piece, and I've just done a little bit of paper piecing behind him. So you can see here where this one's completely see-through, but a couple of his patches on his ear and his paw, all I've done is pop little tiny scraps of card on the back, because nobody's going to see the back there. And then this one's a little tiny bit of gold mirror card where his little dog tag is on there. You might want to use your pens on here. Whatever it is, you know, you want to sort of add detail with. So there's no sort of hard and fast rule as how to decorate it. And then I've taken a second piece of card that is actually my 5 3/4 by 6 inches. Okay, so I've cut this just slightly bigger so that we can put this one inside, and then we've got that lovely mat and layer all the way around. But this actually brings this to life now, because you can see it against the cardstock, and when it's all stuck together, he's going to fold nice and flat inside.
Is anyone else thinking about using the Positivity collection with this particular
Well,
size?
it's funny you should say that, because I think the one that I've got to demo later on in the Craft House show, I've taken some elements from that pad just to use as decorations. So it does work beautifully with it. So as far as sticking this down is concerned, then I'm going to go with the 2 tape pens, I think, because I'll be able to show you easier with these. So the base layer is fairly straightforward. I'm going to go with my double-sided pen, and you can see we've got a solid area there. So let's get that piece first. Literally follow it round the outside, and we're going to stick that piece into the base of the card. So this is sort of the bottom section there. So again, I'm going to pop him back in the card. Just pop those score lines together, and again eyeball that we've got about the right space all the way around the edge, and then when we're happy, that bottom section can be stuck into place here. Now as far as the top's concerned, that's where you've got most of the cutaway area. You can see here there's a lot of area that we don't need. So what I'm going to do is pop a piece of scrap paper. If I can just fit that might be a little bit big, that piece. But you can see where you've got, can you see how you've got some elements that need to be left away from it? And you've got some element that needs to be stuck down. So again, I'm not going to put loads, because this doesn't make contact. The dog doesn't make contact with the card there. You can see him, let me just turn him this way. So all the dog element is lifted away. The rest of it, you can actually stick down. So I'm just going to go to my dotty tape pen this time. I'm going to put that little scrap underneath so that I don't get any dots on the back of the dog. And again, just be careful that you're just popping them on the outside.
There's a lot of love for this this project coming through, Jan, by the way. Lots of people saying
they're really cute.
Adorable.
Yeah, they are. And as I say, wait while you see the little camper van later. It's really good. And again, I'm just going to move that again just to that top section there, just to prevent getting any of those dots in a piece that I don't want to. And then once I've got that done, you can either go back to your other tape pen. I'm just going to stick with the dots there, just to get all that back piece. And then when we open it up, let me just pull that one back out now. We're going to literally just stand it back up and line it up on there, and you've got your border around that one. So once we've got that in position, just going to make sure it's all stuck in the background, but the dog is all still free of the background.
Good question from Rebecca as well, who said, is there a way of using these dies to create a topper for the front of the card? So could you manipulate them?
Yeah, all you would need to do was just snip it here where that score line is here. So this one that comes forward. I would just, it means it'd be a little bit flat there, so you could actually curve it a wee bit if you wish. And again, snip him here, and the dog would actually come out of the, and again, that would be great if you wanted to maybe, you know, if you've got some, I know you can get textured papers that might look like fur, so you could cut him out again and stick him over the top to build up the image, you know, if that's what you wanted to do. And then I've just been in one of the paper pads and grabbed some pieces of decorative paper just to finish it off, and then the one later on tonight I've got a different way of decorating it for you, just to give you a couple of ideas. But this one I'm going to pop a piece of paper on the bottom there. I'm going to use that piece that we just used as scrap, and again just using that normal double-sided tape. This one's going to fill the little gap at the top just there, and then I've done separate piece just to go on here and used a couple of those little bones. And again, you can just put scraps of card over that bone area and just run it through your machine. You don't have to do the whole caboodle. I'm keeping it fairly flat inside because obviously with that pop out element, I don't want to create any areas that are raised. So again, this is just for decorative purposes, not any other reason. And then I've just stamped out, again, I had a look through my stamps to see what went with it. And I've just got surprise there in the middle. And then as far as the front's concerned, because you've got all the detail inside, you don't need to do a lot to the front. So I've just made a matte and layer using that same paper, a little bit of scrap, another sentiment, and some of those little bones there. And that is all I'm going to pop on the front, because the detail is actually the surprise inside when you open it and it all pops out. So again, just keep the front of it, you know, you can decorate it however you like, but I tend to keep this bit quite plain because you want that surprise to pop out on the inside. So if we have a look at that now from the front, you can see that the front stands up normally like an ordinary card there. Nice and simple on the front, however you want to decorate it. You can matte and layer it if you wish. I just kept it simple. But then when I stand it flat, you've got that lovely pop-out design in there, and that's Woof the dog. He's really cute, isn't he?
Hey, he is super cute. Lots of love for that demo coming in as well. George is just saying the black really makes that pop, and Andrea saying the scrap paper behind looks great. Looks cute. Great tip. Loads of you loving that demo. Don't forget the Woof die comes within the pop-out metal die collection, which we'll see in full later on tonight. But you've got the hooray, you've got your surprise on the road, and of course you've got your perfect pals included in there too. Nice and simple to do again, as you can see, but a really great effect that creates. All right, I have the winners, which I'll announce in just a few moments time, but before we do the winners of our Play Your Crafts Right, let's get the vote going on today's demo of the show. So here we go.
Right, so top of the show then we used those lovely outlined panel dies, and we did a little bit of paper piecing with the peonies there. So that was number one. Okay. Number two, we used those lovely paper cuts border dies, and that was the daisies. So that was number two. And then number three, we did those lovely little pop out dies, and we had our front and the inside with Woof the dog inside there. So that was number three.
You see, I err towards three because I love the kind of cutesy cards, but then one is amazing. It's one or three for me. But it's not up to me, it's down to you. So get voting. You've literally got about 90 seconds to get your vote in on that. Whilst you're doing that, let me tell you who has won today on Play Your Crafts Right. So if I announce your name now, many congratulations. You'll win yourself a voucher to spend with us here at Crafters Companion. It is 5 winners from Team Facebook.
Sorry, YouTube.
So if I announce your name now, you need to message us, prizes@crafterscompanion.com. Our 5 winners today are Bernie Sale. Congratulations, Bernie. You've won a voucher. This is the address to email down the bottom here if I announce you. Sophie Minton, congratulations to you. Debbie Brennan, our 3rd winner, well done. Becky Haas, well done to you, and also well done to Corrie Dingle. Congratulations to our 5 winners, so Bernie Sale, Sophie Minton, Debbie Brennan, Becky Haas and Corrie Dingle, all winning a voucher. Email us below and we'll get that sent out to you. Many congratulations. There's been so much chat during the show about a multitude of different things, but one of the things you guys were chatting about earlier on was when we showed you the sneaky peek of what is coming up later on the craft along in just over an hour and a half's time. In case you missed the sneaky peek, can we have another little sneaky peek as to what we're making?
Yeah. This is going to be the project that we're going to do at 3 o'clock here in the UK this afternoon. So again, we've got that gorgeous peacock feather there, and I've just snipped into the die to do the decoration on the front. We're going to use the entwining vines in there. If you don't have this one, you know, if you have, for example, you know, you could do a little bit of the peony one, and it's just a piece of decorative element here. But the idea with it is that this piece is loose. So the turquoise piece is the casing, and then this one slides out on a mechanism that's inside.
Here we go.
And literally pops with that gorgeous peacock feather element on the inside there. And then you've got space to write your sentiment at the bottom, and then once it's done, it just pops back inside its casing there. Okay, so that's what we're going to be making, and our Ben is going to end up with a finished sample just like this at 3 o'clock. Yep. You asked for it.
You asked for it. Now you're going to get it. I'm looking forward to it, actually. Really looking forward to it. If you want to get involved and you've already got the goodies, by the way, if you check out our social media channels, you'll be able to see everything that you need ahead of the show. And the winner of the demo of the show...
Number 1?
Number 1.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, guys. I must admit, I did like that one. I like the black and the pink together. It's quite striking, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's going to go up on our little Crafty Walk of Fame. You'll get to vote for that one potentially as your demo of the day a little bit later on. Craft House to come, of course, 7 o'clock tonight, 2 o'clock East Coast. But yes, in an hour and a half's time, Jan and I will be back getting crafty with that craft along. So we'll see you at 3 o'clock here in the UK, 10 o'clock East Coast. But until then, have a brilliant Saturday. We'll see you in an hour and a half. Bye for now.